It's early February, so chances are your resolutions are in your rearview mirror somewhere. If you're like me, you're working on reinventing yourself and you're aging joyfully. That's my phrase of it and my phase of it. And one of the ways that I am doing this is by doing experiments, doing playful, fun experiments that will help me grow into my elder years with joy, optimism, and hope. So I'm on experiment 3 of 26 for 2026. So stand by to hear both how the next experiment is starting and how the second experiment worked out. Learn more about it. I'm so thrilled that you're here. I'm Julie Jordan Scott. This channel is all about aging joyfully, and I would love it if you would subscribe if this resonates with you. Also, if you would like this video, share it with friends, or come along for the next experiment. It only lasts for 2 weeks, so I'm sure you'll get a lot out of it, even if it's briefly, and then build upon it as you would like. Hello, everybody. I'm so glad that you're here. We're about to start our third of 26 experiments. We're on doing different things to stretch, grow, and experiment. You may remember me walking around with a book on my head. You may remember me being extra convivial and friendly because convivial is my word of the year. And now this next challenge is about juggling. Juggling! Look, I'm dog sitting right now, so I'm juggling dog toys. And I have some other things I'll be juggling with, and I'm going to start with juggling 2 things. Now I can juggle, I can jugglote, okay, I can. So can I speak and juggle? This is just 2 objects, it's not a big challenge, but what I'm doing is I'm training my brain, because there goes one down. Hopefully I'll get better. My first big goal is to juggle 3 items. 2 I've gotten down, except when I juggled for the first time about a week ago, I was shocked that I could still juggle 2 because it's been such a long time. Part of aging joyfully is having fun with what we're doing. And this is a good way to exercise my brain. So here's another way I'm just going to show you with one thing is this thing. Whoop, I almost didn't do it right. The one hand flip. Can I do it left-handed? No, not yet. So there we have a bit of a baseline. This is going to be fun. Now stand by to see the results from Conviviality. So my last experiment was all about conviviality. Conviviality is about being friendly, being a good hostess, building the bridge between people. And I have to say that in the last few weeks, or the 2 weeks that I was doing Conviviality was incredible. Some of the things that it did was it helped me and kept me safe while I was on my road trip. It also showed me about when I'm reaching my non-conviviality zone, usually because I was tired, I was frustrated, I had reached my limit, and you know, we can't be convivial all the time. The good thing is we notice it. The other thing that I did was found some really fun ways to continue being conviviality with people who don't look like me. They don't sound like me. They don't talk like me. Their life experience is not like my life experience. And for me, that is the most interesting of all, because I believe that I'm here to love all people and to be family or sisterhood with as many people as possible. So here's some of the facts and figures. I was conscious and aware of how I was being convivial, I would say 80% of the time. In being convivial, that includes greeting people with good morning or hello, just randomly if I see people walking on the street. That means smiling at people. That means if I find people who seem to be having trouble, checking in, is everything okay? I actually do that. Yeah. There were 2 circumstances where I was definitely not convivial, and I will share those at the end. And conviviality kept me safe. I'm going to tell you that story. And how conviviality can build a bridge between you and people you meet along the path. So the first one, I did that just this last weekend at the Fossil Discovery Center, a place I went to visit with a little guy who I'm taking care of for these 3 weeks here in Central California. And what happened was there was a mom and 2 kids, and there was me with the little guy. And the mom, at first I thought she wasn't, okay, at first I thought, oh, it's another homeschool mom. You know, she's not going to try to be my friend. But I greeted them happily and friendly. She might have thought, oh, an old lady taking care of a kid that doesn't look like my kids. I'm just not going to talk to them. But instead, we just started talking. And as we started talking, we built that bridge to friendship. I really liked her. She is what I call a 5-minute friend. And I'm so grateful we talked because I learned a lot about her and I complimented her in a very friendly way. And while it's only a 5-minute friendship, it was a valuable 5-minute friendship. That's story 1. Story 2, how conviviality kept me safe. So on my first day of driving on the road trip, if you've been following my road trip, if not, check out the playlist. I will put it somewhere here. If not here on the screen, in the description. On my first day of driving, after issues, I drove through, I believe, total of 6 states. And one of those states was Virginia. And by the time I got there, it was dark. I think it was probably 6 or 7. And I was in a nice area, a really nice area. I think it was called Christianville or Christianburg. Really nice area. And I stopped because I had to use the restroom. And I went to a fast food establishment. And the first thing I did there was I parked my car. And I was just, oftentimes when I parked my car, I just let my whole body take a little rest. And I was watching YouTube videos. Now, I have license plates from New Jersey and I'm in Virginia. This person was walked up and stood catty corner to my car. He was totally diagonal to me. I thought he was walking a pet. Then I realized there was no pet. Then I really needed to use the restroom. So I just had to get out of the car. And I saw the same person inside the restaurant with another person, 2 people, a couple. And so I just put my convivial smile on my face. I walked into the restaurant. I used the restroom. Then I walked out of the restaurant. I was going to get a drink. You know, you have to do something to pay to use the restroom. And while I was waiting, I struck up a conversation with some ambulance drivers. Struck up a conversation with them about the name of the town that we were in. And I did that because I knew that if I felt uncomfortable going back out to my car, I'm sure one of those people would have been willing to walk with me out to the car in the dark. An older lady traveling. And that was really comforting. I don't know if before my conviviality experiment, if I would have been comfortable just going up to some guy and asking for him to walk me out to my car. But I was able to identify, you know, they came in together. I knew what they were about, and it helped me to feel both more safe and also more grateful, and also, it is safe. I am being protected at all times. And conviviality was part of that path into that. Okay, so those were 2 good conviviality stories. My worst conviviality moment was in Phoenix. And some of you heard my story about how going into Phoenix, there was a lot of traffic. I was cranky. I had a great day before that. And then I found out that I was staying at the hotel where I stayed on the worst Christmas of my life, which was the Christmas after my dad died. I was just like, ugh. And then when I got to that hotel, I could not log into the Wi-Fi. I was having problems uploading my videos, and I was just frustrated. And when I woke up in the morning, I tried again, still frustration. And again, fast food. So I didn't even want to my son was like, you didn't get the free breakfast? I was like, no, I went to McDonald's because I just couldn't deal with being at that hotel anymore. And the little cashier gave me the wrong drink. And I had a feeling it was the wrong drink. So I tested it. And I said, this isn't the right, and she walked away from the window. I waited. And she came back. I'm like, this is the wrong drink. I asked for X. You gave me Y. And she's like, okay, just a minute. And she went away. And she came back, and I want to give her back the drink. I'm driving cross country. I have all kinds of stuff in my car. I don't need a full drink of whatever the heck it was. So she came back and she said, I'm sorry, ma'am, I can't take your drink. Okay, this is horrible. I literally held the cup out, took the lid off, and went boom. And then, it was terrible. And when I pulled over to actually eat said meal, and I was like, oh my goodness, Julie, that is so not convivial. That girl did not deserve that. And I was so ashamed that I did not even go back and apologize. That would have been the right thing to do, but I was too overwhelmed. So tired, overwhelmed, dealing with issues I had not completely dealt with and didn't know that I would be facing. There's so many variables that can take us out of conviviality. So that was one. I wrote two, both big fails. So there was one big fail. Oh, the other one was a minor fail, but it's kind of funny. So I'm glad we can end on this funny thing. So I went to a truck stop. I know I do all the best things, but I went to a truck stop and the girl said, well, if you get I had a banana. She said, if you get 2 fruit, you get them for cheaper. I'm like, okay, sure. And I went over, I'm like, the bananas were good, but everything else, and I brought an orange up to her. And she's like, oh no, I'll go get you a new orange. So she went out of her way to get me a new orange. And when she said that, she came back with beautiful oranges. I picked one out and I said, oh, you're my favorite. You're my favorite. And then the other girl was standing there to take the money. And I said, oh, you're my second favorite. I could have said you're my favorite too, but you're my second favorite. It reminded me of something my brothers would have done when I was a kid. That they used to say that our dog was their favorite sister. Anyway, that was more of a minor anti-convivial moment, but we had so much fun in that truck stop. And I would say interacting with people like in a truck stop were some extra fun convivial moments, as were dealing with people who are unhomed. I had some really great heart-opening conversations with people who are experiencing homelessness, people who don't look like me, of different ethnicities. Good morning. Good morning. It just feels so good. It feels so good to welcome whomever I come across. And so conviviality, that's my word of the year. I'll continue doing that. So there you have it. Juggling for the next 2 weeks, finishing up with conviviality. It'll continue throughout the year. And yes, I think by the time I finish juggling, I want to juggle with books on my head. Do you think I can do it? If you think I can juggle with books on my head, tell me about it in the comments, or tell me some experiments you might like to try. I have been targeting habits experiments with aging because all of these things help my brain. All of these things help me feel joyful. So I hope you'll join in the Aging Joyfully movement. If there is one, I'm calling them one. And I'm really valuing your presence here on my channel. Thank you so much. And I look forward, as always, to the next video where we can connect again. Thanks so much for being here. The next thing is that, what is the next thing? Brain? The next thing is I'll be doing shorts of me juggling, and I'll be reporting in once a week. So you'll get 3 juggling long forms and more juggling short forms with some of the other things that I'll be using. It's going to be a lot of fun. I hope you'll follow along and maybe even try juggling with me. Would anyone I'm curious, would anyone like juggling tutorials, I wonder?